In addition to the whole issue with the Biden bust down in Texas, while we've been spending the last few days in advance of the election trying to get people registered and out there to vote, seemingly everyone with a valid driver's license and an American flag has just been blocking roads in support of Trump, I guess. You got this in New Jersey. Trump vehicle convoy shuts down the Garden State Parkway. It just blocked it for some reason, I guess. You had this tweeted out from someone saying, I hope AOC isn't using the Whitestone Bridge today. There's a lot of traffic. And I think we actually have a little bit of that video so you can see them stopping their cars to block this bridge. I don't get what the point of that, but I did like AOC's response to that tweet that called her out saying, I took the Throg's neck, heard there was a pileup of Chumps on the Whitestone. That's a good response. I love AOC. Anyway, okay, so really fast. This seems like a weird way to campaign. In particular, blocking the streets just to show support for Trump, especially after you've been demonizing protesters if they ever block a street in opposition to police brutality. You're now blocking it so that people will have to look at your flags? That's weird. Y'all are weird. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you are behind in the polls, but you got a big truck, it's the same reason that you got a giant truck to begin with. It's not because you're a contractor or a hardworking immigrant who you hate. It's because you got a little one. And just like you're polling small, it is small and you're overcompensating. So you're trying to do a lot with a little, I get it. And again, no disrespect to you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be like anatomically discriminatory at all, but we know what giant trucks usually indicate. And yeah, and look, I want to just, for the anxiety and for the people who are rightfully worried, just remember there are more of us than there are of them. Remember what the summer looked like. Remember the amount of protests around the murder of George Floyd. There are more of us than there are of them. They're just loud and they have big trucks.
Exactly, and they really love those flags. And they really, the funniest thing is, so they said that they had a problem with protesters. Clearly they don't. They're okay with stopping traffic. They just think that you shouldn't actually have anything meaningful you're pushing for in doing so. And also they hate identity politics. What is that you're seeing there? Is that what are they protesting in support of Medicare for all, the Green New Deal, some sort of policy? No, it's just they're Trump fans, that's it. Like, look, I get that you can like a politician. Okay, obviously, big fan of Bernie Sanders, massive fan of AOC, but it's related to what they wanna do. Like, I want them to get in office to have more power so that they can do those things. This is just a white identity cult. That's all it is. Yep. And the reason I show this mainly is that they're out there because they're looking at the polls and they can say that they're fake all they want, but they know what it looks at least this way, the way this thing is going. But those people are still going to be Americans after this week. And do you think anyone in those convoys is going to look at the results and say, they got us this time? I guess it's the Dems' turn. We'll get them in 2024. I don't think they're gonna respond in that way. And it will be way better, to get him out of office and have someone reasonable that we can push on a bunch of issues. But all of those people are still gonna be out there. And whether they hold on to this love of Trump for the next 4 years, or once he doesn't have power, maybe it wanes a bit. They're going to be looking for a replacement strongman. Yeah. And I don't know which form it's gonna come. If it's gonna be someone like a Tom Cotton who wants to just deploy the military everywhere around the world, or if it's an ideological grifter like Tucker Carlson who understands how to parlay white supremacy into support amongst Republicans. But they are gonna be waiting for someone else that they can wave that flag for.
Yes, and when a massive recession caused by a failure to act by the Trump administration during a global pandemic hits us, let's see who the Republicans are going to be blaming, even though they've been the ones withholding any more aid and assistance to small businesses, to unemployed people around the country, any more stimulus checks. They're gonna blame Democrats, of course they will. They'll say, this is your economy. clearly not understanding the thing that they praise and sacrifice bodies to every single day, and the way that it takes a while for the economic impact to be seen, right? Trump inheriting a booming economy after 8 years of Obama. I will say this, that I think a lot of people are turning and will turn on Trump, especially if he loses so handily. And we know it's not Fox News, maybe it's the damage report. Are there spaces, are there places we can turn folks who are starting to be critical of maybe the haze that they were in for these 4 years? Can we handhold them? And honestly, I don't think it's everyone's job to handhold some of these folks. I think some of them are scary and racist. That's why I believe that pretty much only white men over 6 feet can interview MAGA supporters and get away with it. Like all gas, no brakes, Jordan Klepper, John Iadarola maybe.
Look, I gotta give it to Emma Vigeland. She's done some of the best Trump supporter interviews ever.
That's very true.
Yeah, outside of Emma Vigeland, you're gonna wanna have backup.
That's absolutely true. But it's like, it is sad that they're going, I mean, it's not sad, but it's like, the reality is, I think, yes, some will hold tight to it and others will just be like, oh, what? That wasn't me, look over there, I didn't even like him, whatever.
Yeah, they do want a winner. They want it so bad that they're willing to believe that Trump is a winner in general terms, but it's gonna be a little bit harder to deny when he's, hanging out in Mar-a-Lago instead of the White House. He's still gonna be on Twitter. He's still gonna be calling into Fox and Friends literally every day. He is not going away, but let's take away his power. That would be a nice start. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.